Hi, I'm Paul Williams from Shink24. In this video, we're going to look at the shortcode module in Nordic-It's Mark5 system. I've already got it running, so let's just pop into it. Okay, so here's your typical layout when you first start up the shortcode module. As you can see, I've got it selected down in the lower left-hand corner here. So link details and links take up quite a bit of space, and I don't find them particularly useful in the shortcode module. So you can either drag and detach them like we did in the contacts module and create tabs of them like this. Or what I'm going to do is just turn them off completely. So I'm going to go to View up here and remove the check marks to linked lists and link details. There we go. So now we just have the actual object list up at the top here, which shows us the different lists, and the preview down at the bottom. So let's define what a shortcode actually is. It's an abbreviation that you use, or a name that you pull up in the address book that points to a list of addresses that you want to send to on a regular basis. Say, operations people or chartering people or something like that. So let's have a look here. I have 3 examples here. If you look at on the far right over here, it actually gives you how many addresses are in each of these lists. So test shortcode has 6 addresses in it. Just expand this a bit. See the addresses here. So let's create a new shortcode from scratch. So I'm going to go up to the top here and click on Create Shortcode. First thing it'll ask for, of course, is the name of the reference we're going to use later. So let's just say test list. Description goes there. So down here, we're going to click on Edit in order to add things to it. The address panel that you get is very similar to the one when you send a message. It's got the same tabs at the top and the same previous used addresses. So if you've been sending messages to this particular person, you can just double click on it. Under Contacts at the top here, same filtering system you see everywhere else. You can type in a partial match for the companies. So if I go hotshot here, notice how it switches to contains here. That's something you set in your preferences. We saw that in a previous video. So let's go back over here, go into Shink. We'll just add a couple of names from different companies just to fill it out a little bit. There we go. Okay, one of the more interesting things you can do, though, is to actually import from a pre-existing shortcode. So if I click on shortcode at the top here, I can actually come in here and, oops, I've already got a filter. I can come in here and click on the Nordic one, for example. This only got 2 names in it, but if I double click on the Nordic shortcode, it adds all the names to the shortcode we're currently building. So you can create huge lists just by importing several smaller lists and creating a large one for yourself. So if I click on OK down here, you'll see all the names we just added are here. Click on OK, and our new shortcode is here now. Editing a list, also very easy. You can just, you can view it, of course, by clicking on it. You can double click on it, go back to the same place we were before, add, remove, same as before, using the edit buttons or the delete buttons. So if you want to remove this person here, boom, delete. Okay. Another nice feature is down here, you can right click and go remove duplicates. This will go through and remove any duplicate addresses that have been imported or accidentally added twice. If an address is an actual contact and not something you've entered manually, you can also right click down here and go jump to, and what that'll do is actually bring up that person. So it's going to bring you into the contacts module, show you that person, and from here you can now right click on it and go quick shortcode, which will show you all the lists that person, all the shortcode lists that person is currently in. This is pretty useful if you have people who are receiving a message and shouldn't be. For whatever reason, you're trying to figure out which of your shortcodes they are still in, even though you think you've removed them from all the other ones. You can pretty much find it just by doing that. So let's go back into the shortcodes here. Next, let's have a look at importing a list from some other program. A lot of other programs will let you export as CSV. So here I have an Outlook CSV export of the contacts. If I right click and look at it in Notepad, you'll see it's actually quite simple. What I've done is the output that Outlook creates is very complex. It has lots of fields, but the only field we really need for this is the actual email address field. So I've opened it up in a spreadsheet like this. Now I'm opening it in LibreOffice Calc. So I'm going to click on OK. It shows me the 2 columns I've created. Now the only column that I actually kept from the output from Outlook is the email address column. All the other columns I deleted. Then I created a column called list name, that's just what I named it, and then put the same word over and over again next to all the email addresses. What this becomes the name of your list when you import it. So it's important that it be the same, or you can create several different lists at the same time. So let's just close this. You see what it looks like now. We come back into Mark5. I'm going to go shortcode, import shortcode, scroll over to my desktop, because that's where I put it, double click. Now it's going to ask me to actually map the fields. So the email address field in the import is going to match in Mark5 to the actual shortcode address. Here it is. And the list name is going to be the shortcode name. Click on OK, and here it is. So Outlook, all the addresses are here. Important to note, these addresses aren't really in the system in that they're not contacts. So if, for example, this Marty, if he was also a contact, it wouldn't necessarily show up if I said, is he in this list? Because these lists are not associated to the contacts in the contacts module. Deleting a shortcode is also very easy. There's the button up here, but if you just right click on any of these lists, you can actually go delete shortcode from there. Let's do one last thing. Let's have a look at actually using a shortcode and creating the shortcodes from the addressing panel. So if we go to Documents and then go Create Document, okay, hit Send. So the transmit window comes up and we do all our addressing here in this addressing window. So let's add a few addresses, things that have been used recently. Go into the contacts, we can add some more. And when we go to shortcodes, oh, we're actually already filtered here. Let's close that. So once we go to shortcodes, we can actually filter on our new Outlook to find it, double click on it. They all get added in here. So see all the addresses that we added before, all here. From here, we can remove duplicates. Notice there's 24 total here, and I added Paul at Shink24 twice. So if I click on Remove Duplicates, gone. From here, we can actually save this as a new shortcode. Click on New Shortcode. We're going to call it Fixed Outlook. That's our new shortcode. And from here, you can actually edit shortcodes as well. If you were to edit Outlook, make some changes to it. Delete, for example. Delete. Okay. It doesn't actually affect your current list. It only affects the actual shortcode. So if you were to re-import the shortcode, then there'd be less addresses in it. So from here, we just hit Send, and we're done. So that concludes the shortcode video. I hope it was helpful. Coming up next will be the Rules module.